Hey there, and welcome back to Myths and Mischief. This is the Loremonger, and I want to introduce a theory that I have about Agatha All Along that stirred up some pretty hilarious debates on Discord. What if Rio was the one who broke Agatha out of Wanda's hex? Now, I'm not saying it was Rio all along, but there's more to Rio's character than we've been shown. Okay, first, let's look at what happened during Lilia's trial. When she was talking with Maestra, she said that she had foreseen the fever that wiped out their coven, but that knowledge didn't stop it from happening. Maestra simply replied, completely unfazed, "Death comes for us all. It is what connects us all." Was she talking about Rio? This is also the same line that popped up in episode 4 when Billy got mad about Alice's death. Crazy. Anyway, here's a big question though. Why did it take 3 years for anyone in the magical community to find Agatha? Witches were definitely nearby, within 3 miles, but nobody noticed her or did anything about it? Kind of strange. In my brain are 2 possibilities. Maybe Rio couldn't directly interact with Wanda's magic, so she had to work in the background as we saw. Or maybe someone died in Westview and their memories brought Rio to Agatha. I know this is a really weird theory, but just stick with me. So shout out to Dalton on Discord for pointing out something really interesting. Why did Billy and Rio both try to free Agatha at the same time? My theory is that Rio actually messed with the hex first, and then Billy just kind of reached through those gaps. Now, to understand why Rio even cared about Agatha, we have to go back to the 1700s. Agatha's son Nicholas was supposed to be stillborn. Not confirmed, but heavily implied. So Rio actually broke the rules of the sacred balance by letting Nicholas live. And then later when Rio took him back, Agatha kind of snapped. Also, side note, Agatha is totally talking out her booty when she says she can't control it. Look at this face. Look at this face. Anyway, okay. Wanda also broke the rules by creating life through magic. That's why Rio called Wanda's children abominations. Creepily enough, if you've read the lyrics to the Ballad of the Witch's Road, which you should, you'll see little hints about Agatha's journey flirting with death while she and Nicholas were experiencing their life together. So years after Wanda's death, the hex finally starts to weaken. But we see Agatha unraveling in the first scene when she's humming that song that she wrote with her son. What's weird is that Herb mentions details about Wanda's death that he wouldn't know anything about. They avoided talking about Wanda like she was essentially Voldemort. Another curious thing is that when we meet Agent Rio Vidal, Agatha snaps at her and says, "What are you doing here?" And Rio coyly says, "My job." Okay, so we know that Rio's job is to reap souls, so whose soul was she after? And that is kind of where my whole theory comes together. I think it was Mrs. Hart. Who's Sharon? Well, when Rio emerges from Sharon's grave, she makes that joke. "I heard you were having a party," which kind of implies that she was tipped off from someone. Could you imagine when Sharon died and was reaped by Rio and she told Rio this story about these crazy women who invited her to a party? But we did get Agatha pretending to be Sharon, which was pretty great, but I would have preferred the actual Sharon. Another thing that makes me think Rio has been kind of around in the background, there is a quote in the Bible about death and the steed that death rides on. And Miss Sharon drives a suspiciously beautiful white Mercedes. I don't know, just something to think about. The final thing is Rio's name, as many people have mentioned, translates to River of Life. So, rivers often symbolize the source of life, the resting place of the dead, and the waters of regeneration. Now, there is one river that is inside the underworld that I think would be very relevant here. The Greek river Lethe makes souls forget their past lives before they reincarnate. Considering this, could Rio hold the memory of all of the souls that she has reaped, like Nicholas, Maestra, maybe even Sharon and Wanda? Anyway, finally, in the morgue, Rio tells Agatha to claw her way out of Wanda's hex. There's so many coincidences here. Do you think that Rio could have been the one to start breaking through the hex? Let me know your thoughts. This theory has so many layers, and I really want to know where you stand. Before we close out, I would love to invite you to our Discord, so feel free to join us. The link is in the description down below. Thanks for sticking with me through this crazy little exploration. Make sure to smash that subscribe button so you can get more. Bye!